Listen, it started raining in 2024 and it hasn't stopped since. So I'm gonna have to break out my umbrella, my HPI umbrella.
Welcome to CK4RC.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm CK. This is CK4RC. That is only RCs. Check them out. I got a discount code down in the video description. You can save 20% off of anything from them, so that's pretty awesome. I have a couple mini bashers right here that I'm going to break out, and we're going to do some damage. And what I'm talking about with my HPI umbrella is I'm talking about the Blackzon Spryte. It's a 120 scale monster truck. Blackzon is under the HPI brand, so HPI umbrella. And then we've got the Maverick Doha over here, which is another 120 scale basher. And Maverick also being under the HPI brand umbrella. So that's what I mean with the HPI umbrella. So we're going to get into these, and I'm really excited to check these out. I haven't watched a whole lot of these. These both came out a few months ago, so neither one of these is a brand new release by any means. But I've had them laying over here in their box, and I just haven't done anything with them. Well, it's time to do something with them. So that's what we're going to do. I'm super excited to check out the Maverick Doha and the Blackzon. I have the Blackzon slider, but that is also still in the box. So I've heard really great things about the strength and durability of the Blackzon brand. So I'm super excited to check out the Spryte. They're both brushed, so it should be a pretty straight up competition. Blackzon, they do have a brushless line, and they call it their turbo line. So actually the slider that I have is the turbo. And I asked them if they were going to make a Spryte turbo. They said they didn't have plans currently to do that, but maybe if we make some noise, they'll put one out. So Blackzon, if you're listening, a Spryte turbo, come on, let's do that. A 120 brushless basher, that'd be fun. That would be a lot of fun. So let's do it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to cut these boxes open. I'm going to pull these trucks out. And we're going to start looking at the features. And as you'll notice, I've got black and blue for both of them because I got to go with the black and blue CK4RC color scheme. I mean, I'm a goober, so of course that's what I'm going to do. So that's what we're working with. That's what I'm rocking. And we're going to take these, and we're going to take the Vector XL from Crawler Tracks, and we're going to go hit the pavement, and we're going to send these guys. And if you haven't gotten a Vector XL bashing ramp from Crawler Tracks, go to their website. I have a discount code for them down in the video description to save 10% off of any of their obstacles. So check them out as well. In the meantime, let me get these unboxed, and we'll take a look at them. So here we go. Okay, so right off the bat, I want to bring you in and show you up close and personal what we're working with here. So I've got the Doha opened up over here, and you can see some of these features over here on the box. We've got 25 kilometers an hour. That's going to give us about 16 miles an hour. It's four-wheel drive. It's water resistant. It's already painted. That's great. It's got LED lights. That's cool. RTR, the battery and the charger's in there. It's got off-road chargers, 2.4 gig. Great. We already know that. You don't have to put that in there. And then this is a really cool feature too. Depending on what color truck you get, the foam wheel on the pistol grip, it matches the color scheme of the truck. So how cool is that? But also just look at the packaging here. So this is what we expect to see from a hobby brand vehicle, yeah? Just nice and packaged, nice and tight. I like how that's looking. We can spin the box around. We can get a look at the components in here, and just a very hobby grade look, right? The exposed components. We've got a aluminum chassis and a top deck over here. We've got coilover shocks. The body mount is hinged, metal drive shafts, all that good stuff. And I mean, this thing it's just so small, but that's awesome. 120 scale, keep that in mind. So this is what we're looking at with the Maverick Doha. So that's off to a good start. The Blackzon Spryte, I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed with this. Just from what I've seen so far, I haven't even pulled it out of the box. But whenever I look at this, and we're looking at some of the features here, it's RTR as well, it's four-wheel drive, 23 kilometers an hour down here. So a little bit slower than the Doha. We are going to do a drag race and test those top speeds out. It also has lights. It's also 120. It's also battery and charger included. And it's also 2.4 gig because obviously. But look here. Nothing is exposed. No components, nothing like that. This gives me a very toy grade feel to it. So just my personal impression if you take the body off and you've got just this black plastic clump and you can't see the motor, you can't see the servo, you can't see the receiver, ESC, none of those things, yeah, it just gives me toy vibes. And to make that even worse, we're talking clamshell packaging in here. So yes, I do also have some other RCs that have come in clamshell, but they've been like 128 scale or smaller, and most of them have been toy grade. So already I'm not off to the best impression of my Blackzon Spryte. So let me get these pulled out of the box real quick, and I'll be right back. We'll get a closer look up at these trucks. So here we are head to head. The Doha does have a noticeable size difference for both being 24 scale. The Doha, it just sits higher, it's longer. Yeah, that's what it is. Now, these both have two body clips. The Blackzon have them on the back. The Doha has them on the front. I did take them off, but I've not flipped anything open yet or anything else. And I also want to show the bottom of the Blackzon. Here's your battery compartment. It's got the screw on here. Again, it's just very reminiscent of toy grade. It's not a battery tray. It's a battery compartment with a screw. Now here is a 600 milliamp, 7.4 volt Li-ion battery. So not too shabby there. It does say don't put 3S in there. So all right, fine. I guess we won't do that. But I will charge up this 2S though, and we'll see what she's capable of. But you can see down here we've got plastic drive shafts, just plastic everything. You've got metal, what are these called? Linch pins right here for the A-arms. Is that what those are called? We're drawing a blank right now. So if you know what these things are, these metal pins, you know what those are called, drop it down in the comments and let me know, because I'm drawing a blank right now. The tires actually feel pretty good. At compound, it's not super soft, but it's not super stiff either. They're totally hollow. You can hear the air rushing out of them whenever I squeeze. So nothing surprising there. You've got the friction shocks. Coil over is what they tried to call them and get fancy with it. But yeah, plastic, everything in here. It is what it is. So as far as the body, it's got the two on the back, and then no, it's not hinged. Okay. Oh, there's a clamp. So the hood scoop is the top side of the body clamp on the front. So, okay. All right, whatever. It does have a light bar on there, so you can see where that's plugged in. You can unplug that and get the battery or the body completely off. And then there's what we were looking at. So you can take this cover off and you can see the motor down here. So, I mean, it's not like you can't get to things, but again, it just gives me that toy grade vibe. And then if I set it down here and I do this, the shocks are just bouncy. So I'm a little worried whenever I take this off of the Vector XL Crawler Tracks bashing ramp. I'm a little worried what might happen. I'm going to have some chassis slappers for sure, I think. But we'll see. Time will tell. I could stand corrected. I'm wrong a lot of the time, so that's whatever. And then we do have this. It's got a very kind of Fly Sky knockoff look to it, but it definitely doesn't feel nearly as good. Kind of a cheap plastic thumb wheel up here, or steering wheel. You got your steering trim, your steering dual rate, steering reverse, speed. So I guess it's some kind of 2-speed in there. You got your power button. And then there's A and B down here. Don't know what these do. I'll have to just experiment and see what that's about. Now, moving on to the Doha. So I did take the body clips off, but I haven't flipped this thing over yet. But it does have an interior in here with a couple little dudes. We do have lights up here on top. We've got some scale details on top, which for this body style, that makes total sense. Normally on bashers, I don't like sand ladders and stuff like that because it's a basher. But this is, I mean, it's got that desert truck look, right? And so this stuff makes sense. So I don't mind that. Now, something that I don't like, and I've never really liked this, when you're talking about crawlers or bashers or anything else, is this spare tire that sits so far up and so far back. I know it's the design of the vehicle. I know that's what it looks like in real life. it just doesn't work at this scale. Not for me. I mean, yes, it looks more authentic, but it has more adverse impact on the performance than it adds to the realistic scale look for me. That's just my opinion. So you can agree, you can disagree. So be it. But looking at this though, and is this supposed to be like a faux wheelie bar back here? I have a feeling we're not going to be popping wheelies. What is this? Why is there an LED just sticking out of nowhere? What? All right, this seems bizarre. These tires are so stiff. That rubber is so hard. Definitely hollow, but man, they do not feel very good. So, all right. And again, wait, are these oil shocks on here? No way, they're not oil shocks. No, they definitely coil over friction shocks. So, all right, let's get this body lifted up. Okay, there we go. Got a light up here, going up here to these lights. So you got that cord that's in the way, but that on-off switch is really tall. Oh, there's a hole right here. Oh, hang on. Yeah, when the body's down, you can get to the power button right in the cockpit there. Okay, that's smart. I like that. Maverick, well done. And look at all of the structural support in this thing. So that interior is solid. You've got the cage down on the body panels. You've got the cage under the hood. That's really well put together. Then you've got the electronics down here. You've got your battery tray on the side, not a battery compartment like some little toy. And we're looking at a 7.4 volt, 600 milliamp Li-ion again. So battery-wise, we're going to be running the same thing. These were probably made at the exact same time. It's just a different sticker. Look familiar? Anything look familiar on here? So those are the battery packs we're working with. Overall, this Doha looks promising. All right. Okay, a little something there for me to toy around with. And we've got the transmitter over here, the remote, the radio, whatever you want to call it. And man, this thing feels super cheap. So all the quality they put in the truck, it did not bleed over into the transmitter at all. You've got a power button. You've got a throttle trim and a steering trim, and that's it. Nothing else. There's something that's supposed to look like a switch. That doesn't do anything. That's nothing. That's nothing. You got one back here. That's nothing. That's nothing. Nothing goes there. There's supposed to be a LED screen look-alike, I guess, maybe. That looks super cheap. But then here's the blue foam wheel to match the vehicle. It's not soft at all. The trigger just feels odd. Oh, I don't like the way that feels. Yeah, the Blackzon just feels way better. Still a very cheap transmitter, but it feels way better than this one from Maverick. I don't like the way this one feels at all. But there's the breakdown of the trucks coming out of the boxes, what they look like, what you can expect to get from them. I'm going to go charge these things up, and we're going to get these guys outside between rain showers, hopefully, and just send them. And we're going to see what kind of punishment they can take and which one holds up better and which one's more fun. So let's do it. Let's get going. Here we go. Go. here we are back in the Cluttered Basement Studios after a nice little bash session with these two. Took a little while for my test drivers, my stunt drivers, to get used to hitting the ramp, but man, these things took some abuse. So with that in mind, who's a winner? That's my question. If you're going for a 120 scale basher from HPI specifically, do you go with the Maverick Doha? Do you go with the Blackzon Spryte? Well, I have an answer. I'm going to get to it here in just a second. But first thing, I realized after checking this out, you take those rear body clips off, there's just no need because the battery compartment is down here in the bottom, and all you have to do is just flip the body up on the side, and you can reach up and you can hit the power button. So you really don't need to take this body off or anything. So just a little tip, if you end up going the Blackzon route, just a little tip on there. The goods and the bads with these. So according to the advertised speed on the box, the Maverick Doha is supposed to be 2 miles an hour faster than the Blackzon Spryte. Supposed to be. But as you saw from our drag race, the Spryte seemed to have a little bit more quickness. So I don't know if the acceleration, maybe the motor's just wound a little tighter. Maybe it has one less brush in it. I don't know how that works. But the Spryte did have a little bit more pickup. And the Doha might have had a little bit more top speed, but it was negligible. So really not noticeable at all. So while I expected the Doha to be the winner of the drag race, it wasn't. The Blackzon Spryte came through and took the drag race. As far as handleability, neither one of them are particularly easy to drive because they're so small, they're so light, and because they're quick. 15 miles per hour for this size and this weight of truck is pretty quick. And so when you're hitting terrain, it just bounces the truck and it's really hard to control. Neither one of these trucks have a gyro, which, I mean, they're not drift cars. So off-road bashers typically don't have gyros, typically. So they were somewhat difficult to handle. So the handleability for both of them was pretty sketchy. It did seem like, well, honestly, it was kind of a toss-up. I mean, they were kind of all over the place. The Doha does have more weight. It is significantly heavier than the Spryte. I think mainly because of all this stuff on the back end. But it just didn't help much. So the handleability was a toss-up. As far as durability, this is what sets them apart. Now, I've heard of Blackzon Tough before, and my buddy Sam over at Crawler Tracks, he swears by Blackzon because of their durability. Well, for the 120 scales, I wasn't sure what to expect, but what ended up happening, the Doha, the tires ended up, so they're not glued, they're not beadlock, and they just kept popping off the rim just a little bit and letting gravel inside there. Also had some issues with gravel getting up here in, like behind the wheel and jamming it up to where it wouldn't turn anymore, like back here by the knuckle. And so that also caused some issues. Whereas the Blackzon Spryte handled business. It handled everything we threw at it, and it just kept coming back for more. So Blackzon Tough, that's a thing. Additionally, the Doha battery, we got about 15 minutes of runtime out of it. That's about it. Whereas the Spryte, it was still going after 20. And we cut it just a little bit short because my youngest son that was driving the Doha started getting a little bit bored and antsy. So we called it a day and we headed back home. So the results of the HPI 120 scale basher bash off. The Blackzon Spryte, if you can believe it, with as unimpressed as I was just looking at this thing out of the box, performance-wise, that's the one to go with. So if you want my opinion, there it is. If you like the look of the Doha better, go for it. You won't be disappointed. It's still a fun truck. But don't say I didn't warn you if you have a little bit of issues with it. Blackzon, they make good trucks. So now I'm even more excited to get my slider turbo out and give that a bash. So that'll be coming before too long, hopefully, because I'm pretty pumped to try that out on a bigger, faster scale and see how that does. So there's my opinion. There's my review. There's my determination. Take it or leave it. Do what you want. Just have fun. While you're here, go to Only RCs. I went with the classic black CK4RC shirt because I went with the black and blue scheme for the trucks. I went with the black and blue scheme for the guy. So go to Only RCs. Use my discount code. Save 20% off. It's down in the video description. If you don't have Crawler Track, the Vector XL from Crawler Tracks, go to their website. Use my discount code. Get 10% off your order from them. And then also I have affiliate links and things like that down there you can use as well to help support the channel. It goes a long way. In addition to supporting the channel, become a member. For a few dollars a month, you get extra content. You get to weigh in on what you want to see coming up on the channel. And you get to see stuff early as well. So check that out. It's $3 a month. Come on if you want to support the channel. Greatly appreciate it. It goes a really long way. Definitely appreciate the guys that have jumped on board with me. So keep doing. I'm rattled right now. Hit the quadfecta before you go. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Keep doing RC stuff. There it is. And I will see you next time. Big time thank you to my members and channel partners. And if you would like to join the ranks, click on that join button for exclusive content, never before seen videos, early access to videos, and other exclusive content, pictures, polls, and having an active voice in what comes next on the channel. So appreciate the support. Click on that join button. And thank you so much to the channel members.